everyone. We are so excited to be back once again to get together and talk about real woman issues that concern friends, wives, mothers, educators, and entrepreneurs. I cannot wait to start the show, so let's get going.
We have landed safely from Houston.
Yeah, we're back. We are back.
You've been in Florida, and you've arrived safely from Florida.
Whirlwind, finally home to sit still for a couple days.
A minute.
Yes. Hello. We are back for an episode, a new type of episode. So we decided to rearrange some things. We had 48 hours to do some planning. So we have reorganized some things. So just bear with us because you're going to love it. You're just going to love it. I know you are.
We have switched it, changed it, rearranged it. Where are my cheerleading coaches at? Cheerleading coaches know that. So, whatever.
I've been to games and I've never heard that.
It's not that type of cheer. It's for camp.
Oh.
It's a cheer that we do at camp.
Ooh, one day we're going to have to talk about that, cheering in that whole, yeah.
Well, I was not a cheerleader.
No, you weren't.
By blood.
You weren't.
Just relation.
Right.
But we'll talk about that
another day. And I think it's hilarious that you were a coach, but you never were a cheerleader,
I'm a quick study.
Which will lead me to what I'm going to have to talk about cheerleaders.
I'm a quick study. I had to go to a lot of camps, coaches' clinics.
So they did you right.
Yeah, I did. I went to a lot of coaches' clinics, and me being the type of individual that I am, of course, I studied up on my own because I was not going to have any of my cheerleaders injured because that's a very dangerous sport.
Did you know I was a cheerleader? My freshman year in high school, I did it instead of playing basketball.
And then what happened?
I was awesome.
And then what happened?
And then I made the varsity basketball team the next year. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll play. Honestly.
So you were a base?
Of course.
I just see your pyramid or your stunt group being off kilter from the rest because you're so tall.
Nope.
Oh, you must have spread it wide like when you did your...
Nope. We had...
They were tall
cheerleaders that were my height. Yeah.
Oh.
I was 5'8", so yeah.
Yeah, okay. But now you're how tall?
6 feet.
Okay, so now do you see why I thought in my head you might have been 6 feet?
But this is not even a topic.
Sorry.
What are we talking about? What are we even saying?
You did it.
All right, so friend fix.
Are you going to cut all that out?
Yeah. What? Maybe we can add it on to a teacher talk or something? I don't know. But why do we always want to default to school stuff? Let's get out of here. Get out of my mind, school stuff. Let's talk about the real stuff.
That is so funny.
So this segment is supposed to be about non-teacher talk because, yes, I understand. We have many of our listeners who aren't teachers, and you can choose to listen to our teacher segments if you want, and I think that most of you really do enjoy that. But sometimes it gets all mixed in, and we're not able to clearly speak to on behalf and to teachers. And so that's what the teacher segments are going to be for.
I love your idea because this was your idea to break it up. I think so.
I feel like when we are on our think tanks, that
happen.
I don't think any of us should take credit because I think it's just kind of
it's our brainchild.
It is. It's a sweet tea and sunshine thing.
Oh, well.
Oh, wait. Before we get into it.
Oh, I got scared.
What we figured out is we have listeners who don't know our voices in real life. So, I know that there's listeners like my mom or, whoever who are like, I know that's Sharifa because I know I've talked to her in person.
All the time, every day.
All the time. I know that's Keisha because stuff like that. So, we have to realize that I am Sharifa, who represents Sunshine, and you are...
I'm Sweet Tea.
Sweet Tea and Miss Keisha Mitchell. So when you hear our voices, I guess you can connect it that way.
Yeah.
Do you have a separate handle that you want people to follow you on in case they are Team Keisha or Team Sheree? Because, we have different Instagrams and like.
Oh yeah. We do have the combined Sweet Tea and Sunshine Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're Team Keisha,
we are not divisive at all.
No, that's why it feels funny.
It's okay. We can have like people who are. Yeah, it's different.
I hope that y'all follow both of us on our separate pages, but
you don't even have to you don't have to follow us at all. But if you felt like you wanted a little more of Miss Keisha in her other rare form,
whatever.
Well, how would they contact you?
I am at Be the Light Inc. At Be the Light Inc. on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay. And so my personal page is open. I just don't care if you want to follow me and my family or whatever's going on. Like I cross post and stuff. So I am, is it Sharifa_Ned?
That sounds right.
I think so, on Instagram. I'm also at Be Unwalled on Instagram for like nature stuff. And then I'm on Facebook also. Same.
Cool.
So, enough about those introductions. We've got some stuff to talk about.
We feel like this is a fresh start. So this is our very first broken up episode 33 of our Friend Fix.
Yes. And being as how this is the week of Halloween and yesterday was Halloween. A couple other podcasts that we listened to talked about like fears and stuff. And I wanted to ask Keisha, what makes you scared? Because at this point, we're in our 30s and like, you know, I would love to know if things still that scared you in the beginning are things that scare you now or if it's changed, and talk about that for a little bit. And then we got some other things to talk about too. What makes you scared?
Like right now, as far as business or life?
It could be anything. Anything. Probably the first thing that comes to mind. That's probably the thing that scares you the most.
Oh. Excuse me, guys. I guess I am fearful of my parents aging.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the reason that's popped up in my head so quickly right now is because a couple of people in my circle have lost their parents, whether that is at work or our friend circle.
It's happening kind of faster than I thought for my age group. Like, yeah, for our age group.
Yeah. Everyone knows you're older than I am, but yes, our age group. I do that all for Jamila. But I think that's what, and I think it's less of the fear of them aging, because I think aging is beautiful. I have a whole different perspective on aging. I see too many people who are older and living fabulous lives. Okay. So I think my perspective on aging is a healthy one, but I think that what makes me nervous is my parents' perspective of aging is different. Like my grandparents died at the ages of like 63, 64.
Oh, that's early. For now.
It is early.
Back then, maybe not.
I was in the 6th grade when my grandmama passed. But, so I get nervous that they think that because they are around the age that my grandparents passed, that this means death for them. But they're super healthy. Yeah. And they're super active. And, but they surround themselves, because being a preacher and, a first lady or whatever, they have to be around death a lot, because they're doing funerals and things like that. So I feel like
visiting sick and shutting in.
I feel like it's a hyper focus on that. So that's kind of what scares me. It's not the act of me aging. It's the act of my parents' mindset about aging. My grandmama, my daddy's mom, is 90 years old. So she's not in the best health, but it shows me that it's possible. Yeah, go to 90. As far as business.
Oh, so you're going to answer them in all areas of your life, or the first?
This is it. This is all.
You got more?
We got to talk about business. I feel like we should do one personal and one business.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do that.
I didn't realize this about the business side of it, but I thought that I was super confident and like, okay, I'm ready. I have all these plans. But one of my mentors she always gut checks me whenever I'm with her, and I love it. I mean, I don't like it. It doesn't feel good, but she really brings some things to the light for me. And she was just like, there were some moves, some things that were just laying there that I could definitely receive or go after that shouldn't be intimidating, and I wasn't going after them. And she said, "Are you afraid of the success?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "What?" And I was like, "That's so crazy. Why would?" But she was like, "Maybe you're just afraid of what comes after that. Like, okay, so you make the call and you get this partnership. Maybe you're just afraid of what all comes with that." And I was like, ugh. And it slapped me upside the head, and then I made the call. And it was positive.
Do you find that like repeating itself, or it's almost like you just recognize it now?
I think I go through it in cycles. Like, I feel like everything that's new, I get nervous about it. Like, I feel like it's the right move, but then I'm like, oh God, this is new. So then I had to go through all this fear stuff, and then after I get through it, it's like, oh, that wasn't so bad. It was actually pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So what about you, family wise?
Let's see.
Or
family wise, personally, I think the thing that scares me the most is I don't think I've even shared on the podcast that I deal with an autoimmune disorder that can be debilitating.
You haven't.
And so it scares me that like I don't know all the things that can possibly happen. So we talk about like me being in touch with my body a lot because I'm really trying to make sure that like do my checkpoints from the top to the bottom, that everything is the same that it was the day before.
And I think remember we talked about that. I think that is so healthy.
That is a healthy thing, but that came about, I think, out of
as a result
fear, because I realized like I was diagnosed with this thing and I was like, what the heck? Like, I don't even know. I couldn't tell the doctor when it started, because I just had a baby. So then it was like, I don't know if I'm just losing my mind or if I really don't remember. You know what I mean? So it was a lot of me trying to check all of the functions in myself. And I'm like, I don't even realize how long it's been like that. So that scares me because we have just some illnesses in our family. I got some autoimmunity from my mom's side, I think, and my dad's side as well. So it's just kind of like one can lead to another and another and another. Then you end up with like 4 different autoimmune diseases just because one set off the other one. So I'm like, I'd rather just have one, thanks. I don't need to have any more. And I don't want that to be a reason that I can't live my life. So I'm very conscious about getting up and doing, even if I don't feel like it, because it's like, then what? Then I'm just in the bed. And that's not, that's not something that I'm interested in doing. So I want to work.
Definitely not.
I want to work every day, in my own way, but woo! So that's that. Let's see, business wise. I think that I get scared of giving up too soon on things. Like, and I'm not sure, and this is the uncertainty, is if it's just the competition in me that's like, I will not, let it beat me, or if it's like, do I still keep wanting to do this just because it's out of competition, or like,
right.
So I struggle with releasing that to God and letting, just praying about it and letting it be clear if it's time to continue or time to stop. So the scared part of me is like, but what if I give up and then all of a sudden everything is great and then I walked away from it?
Oh,
yeah. In every job, I think it's like I face that. Like, it's just getting good here. I know I can make it better, or I know, putting myself into it as if it won't continue after I leave, or even like after I leave, if it gets better, then what? What does that mean about me?
Do you think, does that tie any into comfort zone? Because, sometimes we do get comfortable and we feel like things are going great, but sometimes when we're moved out of our comfort zone, even though what what we left behind